What's happening, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Shoots with Coop. So today I want to talk about my 4 favourite films from Ilford. We're going to run through them starting from the lowest ISO and then moving up to the highest one. I'll show you guys a bunch of pictures I've taken with each film, give you my thoughts, tell you what I like about each film, and then maybe from that you guys can see whether or not you might be interested in trying some of those for yourself. So let's jump into the video. So for 3 out of these 4 films, I develop all the film myself, but for 3 of them I use Ilford LC29 for the developer. We've got some Ilford Stop Bath, and finally some Ilford Rapid Fixer. So I use these 3 chemicals when I develop my black and white film. One of them, which we'll get to, has to use a different chemistry, but just so you can see the results that I have got using these chemicals. So starting with the lowest ISO, we have Ilford Pan F50. So obviously it's a 50 speed film, so it's extremely slow, but this is definitely one of my most favourite films. I've done a whole video dedicated to just this film, which you guys can check out if you go over to the channel. But this film gives you absolutely smooth blacks, whites, greys. The contrast is fantastic. Everything about the film just oozes sex. I absolutely love it. But the only drawback with it is that it is a 50 speed film, so either you need quite a lot of light or you're working off a tripod, which is okay. But it does have some limitations in those aspects, being such a slow speed. But if you've got a great amount of light, I can't recommend this film enough if you haven't tried it before. You will absolutely love the results you get. The portraits with it are beautiful, landscapes and scenery and street photography. It's an amazing film, but I think most people are just put off by it because it is a 50 speed and it's so slow. Next on the list is Ilford FP4. Now this is a 125 speed black and white film. I enjoy shooting it from time to time. It's not my favourite, but it is very versatile because it can easily be pushed up to 400 in case you're in a jam and that might be the only film you can get, but it's too dark outside to use a 120 speed film. But it is very good. It's got a much heavier grain structure compared to Ilford Pan F, which almost has no grain whatsoever, or a really pleasant grain, I should say. FP4 is reasonably contrasty, and it's not a bad film. It definitely performs well. I mean, if you're looking for a lower speed black and white film, it is pretty good. It's obviously more contrasty, I would say, than HP5, which we'll get to later. But it is a very good film, and I can definitely recommend picking some up. Next on the list, we're coming up to 400 speed, and it's a bit of a sleeper film, and that's Ilford XP2. As I was saying, I developed 3 out of the 4 black and white films with those chemicals. Obviously, XP2 is not a true black and white film. It's developed using C41, so all your colour chemicals. But I really enjoy this film. I know a lot of people they write it off instantly because it's not a true black and white film, but it's not super contrasty, and it gives you what I reckon a much flatter image compared to HP5 or FP4. But it is a really nice film. I don't know, just the look about it, it's almost like got a real soft feel to it. And I do enjoy shooting it from time to time. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of it because it isn't a real true black and white film, I should say. But the results I get with it are pretty good. And if you guys are looking to experiment, or maybe you don't have access to black and white developing chemicals in your area, or either you don't know how to do it yourself, or maybe your local lab doesn't do it, XP2 is a really good film because you can sort of get that taste of black and white with the ease of dropping it off to your normal lab, which will develop C41. And then lastly on the list is my absolute go-to, which is HP5, like most people. The film is just so versatile. I absolutely love it. So when I develop it personally using the LC29, I much prefer the results I get. Now, a few of the labs I've tried going to here in Perth, they've sent me back images that are just like super grainy, extremely contrasty, and I don't know if it's something they were messing up in the scan or if they're using different chemicals, but I find the results I get with LC29 are really pleasing. Sometimes I find the only thing that I will do is maybe add a little bit of contrast in post with it. Otherwise, I'm just so used to shooting that film, I kind of know the results I'm going to get every time. And I mean, you guys would probably try it yourself and you probably love it. You know, I've never pushed it to 1600. I have pushed it to 800, but the time I did, the lab I sent it to, which was an absolute rip-off, 30 Australian dollars for one roll of blackened film. It's highway robbery. But yeah, the images came back and they were just like disgusting grain, like, you know, like Delta 3200 pushed to 6400 type of grain, and it's like nasty contrast, and that kind of put me off pushing it again. But you know, I'm definitely going to try, I think, soon, and then, you know, use my chems to mix it up again, because it is so versatile and it gives you a really, really good classic film look. So there you go, guys, quick one today. So my 4 favorite films. If you guys enjoyed some of the images you've seen, then for sure try and find some, pick some up. If you're in Australia, I recommend going to www.walkins.com.au. Walkins House of Film. They have a great stock, and they seem to be the cheapest place in Australia online that I've found to buy films. So go check those guys out if you're chasing some of those films. So guys, thanks for tuning in, and I want to say a quick thank you to all the new subscribers that we've had to the channel. I mean, I started this as a side project, and I wasn't sure how it was going to go, but you know, it's only been a little over 5 weeks since I've started, and you know, I get so many nice comments all the time and positive feedback from you guys, and I absolutely love it. It makes me want to grow this channel more, and you know, and keep shooting and keep putting out content for you guys. So thanks again, and until the next episode of Shoots with Coops, happy shooting. See you guys.